sure. No, I'll just wait here. I'll just wait here.
I'll be fast.
Uh-huh. I'll just wait here for good old Crane Eyes Johnson.
No, I flipped it.
Oh, God. They are trapped by this system.
Oh,
This
Jesus
is
fuck.
peak theme park. They can't leave. The Impalas glued together. Yeah, it's a lot of Impalas. Okay. All right. So, depending on how this car goes. All right. Oh my God.
All right. This is the deputy.
Howdy, it's me, Mr. Tex, of a legion that wears pant.
Indeed, and this is Madness Mondays, or Monday Madness. I apparently cannot decide.
Yeah. Well, we have to turn them around, flip them around. Dyslexia is real. I mean, just be glad it's spelled Monday Madness and not, just a jumble of words and sounds. I mean, we've achieved conveying, I would think, what we do.
Isn't this a bit of a busman's holiday for Depp? I'm not sure what you mean there.
He probably meant business holiday or something. I don't know. It's one of those things, but we're gonna say this. It's time to do some crime solving. I realize that we do commit a lot of crimes in this game.
We are criminals.
We are, well, we're not exactly the police in this game, are we?
We're not.
No, we're freelance. We're freelance. Are we starting a new city today?
We are. What are we naming this city?
All right. Let's Okinawa's not the name of a city for us. We need something more exotic. We need something different. We need something. Let's think. What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? Knife Fight City? That's an option.
It's an option.
We can Knife Fight City, the city of knife fighting. Hamsburg. All right. Extra Detroit. That sounds ominous.
You like Detroit? What about extra Detroit?
You want some extra Detroit? No, thank you. I'm trying to cut down on iron. Pugilist Harbor. I like Pugilist Harbor. Spare York is up there.
Have you seen me play this game, Iron Phoenix? Or Ogawa?
I think we're about to get an education here. And welcome, I Am the Moon. Yes, we put all those things in the intermission of our videos, and including how to get in a legion. We had that literally as dead on screen in the center of a video. That way has since closed, but we had that dead on screen in the center of a video, and I said it's in that video, and I had people who said I've watched the video, and I'm like, and they go, it's in the video, and they would say where. So you have to have that moment.
Does Jam Bent write again, or do we come up with a new name?
Jam Bent had his story. The shortest arm of the law, as he was.
He was.
Let's see. What could we do? What could we do? What could we do? We need a good detective name. What was it? There was that one that Diggs pointed out as a thing he liked to eat. Shanks la Mole. I know it's Shanks Mole, with pork shanks, but Shanks la Mole is something that we like a lot.
A fitting name for a detective.
They called me Shanks la Mole. I get to the bottom of this pork mess. Ugh.
See, the one I was about to go with was Bugsy Gloves.
Oh, God. Shanks la Mole here. So what kind of person is Shanks la Mole? What are their motivations?
Besides violence?
I would just say violence is coincidental in this city.
It's like Gotham. You can't do anything without it being violent.
That's the thing is, like, I just sat there in the town and watched, and people just beat each other up, and I'm going, well, okay. Because it's one of those things where you look at any city, like any of the cities you've seen in Grand Theft Auto, right? And in any of the cities you've seen in Grand Theft Auto, you realize if you sit there and just watch for 5 minutes, people will start beating each other, shooting each other, running over each other with cars, and you realize nothing you do in that city is really out of place.
Yeah.
You're quite normal. So anything the character does in this setting seems, again, quite normal. So the one thing we found on the city is if you make extra large maps, the game don't like it. But it will crash. It will crash for no reason, including reasons we make.
I got an extra large city to work for my Jam Bint playthrough, but it took a while to generate it, and it wasn't as stable.
Yeah, I had one where there was a door on the random floor of a building, and I opened it, and there was a tiny room, and there was no one in there. And I was like, what is this room for? Like, stuff just didn't spawn, right? So I was like, okay. And I watched people keep going into the room and disappearing. And I was like, this is really bothering me.
It is the late 20th century.
Oh, man.
Hyper-industrialization has swept the planet.
War never changes.
Sorry, I had to clear my throat.
No,
The old Bourbon Empire has crumbled, giving way to the United Atlantic States and the first elected mega corporation president in history, Starch Cola. I don't know. Some days it seems like the mouse is president. Okay. So we've all seen this before, right?
Yeah, it's basically welcome to a dystopian hellscape.
Yeah, you can't escape to the fields if you're good enough.
Look, I'm just gonna tell you, man, that milk that you find, the milk that you find in every crime scene, you need
that
to
makes
drink.
your tummy hurt.
Yeah, you gotta drink that. You gotta drink that crime scene milk. Is this your house? Did you just start your house?
Yeah. I've got a snack jar? Fucking A.
Fuck yeah. Wow.
Do I have food in the fridge?
What kind of detective has food in the fridge? This playthrough implies that someone loves you, which is not very true from any detective story I've ever seen. All right. Is that your house? You just own it?
Yeah, 301, I guess.
Wow.
I didn't start out as a man of the streets. I fell to it.
Oh, God. I don't live in the streets, I work there. Was that Waldo?
What?
Striped shirt. I was like, I found Waldo. I was just going to say.
Striped shirt and skirt.
Oh.
Waldette.
Waldina. Waldina, Waldette.
So there's a diner.
Yeah. All right. Well, we found him, so handled.
The Mockingbird.
I love the random business names. There was that one, the Artichoke Rat.
The Artichoke Rat is a fantastic name. I am looking to see where the pawn shop be. We are going to be visiting often.
You know, there's one thing that I think that the people who like those Where's Waldo books have never asked themselves, which is why is Waldo present at so many things in history?
Is
Right?
Waldo the cause or the symptom?
Right. I'm just wondering, is this like BioShock Infinite, where they're like, "There's always a lighthouse, Mister DeWitt," you know?
It's a
Right?
flamingo.
Do they give you a gun? No, you
The
don't get
most
a gun in
reliable
this.
fence in all of Pugilist Sound?
Pugilist Harbor.
Harbor. Pugilist Harbor.
It's one of those things where you end up with. It reminds me of Hogfish Bay in a sense, but there's not as much screaming for Hogfish Bay.
Why are you running?
I'm on the Moon says all good detectives have at least killed one used car salesman. The truly great ones kill two.
I guess we go down to the Apple Tree Albatross, another great diner name.
Ah, that sounds really lovely.
And we'll wait on a murder.
Or you could just do some odd work for side money. Either or.
Well, actually, I'm waiting on the pawn shop to open, but waiting on a murder.
Yeah, this game does have a serious lack of tragic lounge singers and prostitutes and dope pushers. It doesn't have all the seedy elements of a city yet. It's got the permanent rain or snowfall. It's got the diners down pretty well.
Yeah. If no, that would be fantastic. You know, you have to meet your clients for cases, and like a
Oh, God,
seedy
yeah.
back lounge, it's constantly a pall of smoke.
I agree. I think that would be cool. I think it'd be cool if you could meet these other people who are like dramatis personae in the city. Like you would generate so many jazz singers or so many like club owners or
Yeah,
stuff
get the
stuff like
saddest woman
gangsters.
alive, Vera Lynn, to do the music.
Oh, that would be nice. That would be nice.
God, you're still ready for fisticuffs. This is Pugilist Harbor. What's the
I
time?
like the idea. I like the idea of wait, was that a murder?
Where?
To your right?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Just, just saying. Casual observation and all that. I'm not saying that you ignored the dead person. I just bringing it to your attention. I figure, maybe this is a person who had a nap and they died from it. Probably important. Just, probably just a thing, right? Well, you got their prints. Oh, murder reported. I wonder where it is.
Yep. Come on.
Yeah, well.
Let me get there. Yes, I know. Murder reported. Murder reported.
I love how people just keep walking over the body, They're just
Yeah.
like, fuck it. Fuck it. It's not important.
So the Type A print is our unknown citizen.
Yep. I bet if you do a wallet biopsy, you might find them. All right, we have a
stabbed.
work ID. Entry
They
wound.
had a pistol on them.
Well, who doesn't in this city? Oh, well, yeah.
Everybody's packing, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Slashed to death with a bladed weapon, not stabbed.
So somebody just stabbed or slashed him here, huh?
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ, don't shoot me.
Well, that guy's trying to blast you.
Yeah, I think the cop's trying to blast him.
Well, just keep running in circles till this works itself out. I mean, Benny Hill music, you know. Yeah, just run around as the cops handle that guy.
What I need is a weapon.
Yeah. So anyways, he started blasting. Somewhere there is a crime happening. Yakety sax.
You
Uh-oh.
don't see me.
Uh-oh.
Good fucking god, I'm trying to investigate this crime.
Yeah, but see, that's the problem is, they don't know that. And there's no sort of badge or anything you can get, so people just figure you're a bad person.
Oh, I mean, I would think I was a bad person too, probably.
Well,
Actually,
a
I know
random...
I'm a bad person.
Not yet, I would say.
I'm about to be.
What? Yeah, yeah. I'd say the intent is there, but I don't think that a bad thought is the same as a poor action. Is this person just stabbing you at
They're
random?
trying.
Wow. Yeah, just hit him with the bucket.
Stop, please. Fuck you. Number one, you're getting
Nice.
printed. Yes, I
Yeah,
want
that
that
might be the
fucking
murder.
combat knife.
Yeah, that's relevant to our case. This person did get stabbed, right? You know? Oh yeah, we might need to check in with that later. You know?
Cop had a shotgun.
Wow. That sucks. Anyways, we just found out where you know. Yeah, all right. We've had some trouble. But we learned shotguns hurt and
We're not at that
back.
stage, Hawking veteran.
It is Knife Fight City, you know?
Oh, I'm not paying for shit.
Oh, I wouldn't. Get out of there.
Hold on. Gotta wait for the camera. Whoop. Don't mind me, don't mind me. Escaping from the hospital so healthcare's free. Please don't shoot at me, please don't shoot at me, please. Oh, good God. Just let me leave.
Please don't shoot at me. I just got out of the hospital.
Good Lord, they're all chasing me still.
Well, I'm glad that we're off to a rousing start, so people really know what we're up to.
Alright. The Jade Raven. I'm gonna need some self-defense.
Well, that's definitely easier said than done in this setting until you start breaking into people's houses. Then you can do it fairly easily. Wow, that's a lot of witnesses to what you did.
Yeah. They're not pursuing me, though. And they forgot.
Excellent. I love the short attention spans of this place. But yeah, this is definitely a Space Station 13 version of Noir.
It is.
It definitely feels like it. So let me guess, you're gonna look on this and see who stabbed him, and then be like, all right, that's them, and then go get them, and then be like, da 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 da, money.
Yeah.
Easy. Well, Street view. All right, you got a lot of things. Look at when they said they were moitered, and then I suppose that's where you get it.
$13.15 and $14.05.
13:15 and 14:05.
It is
All right.
currently 14:09, and I spent some time in the hospital, so probably closer to 13:15.
I would say on Monday.
Yeah.
So 13:15, eh? All right, let's take a look. Let's advance this and see what we got here. Oh, you're freezing.
Yeah, it's cold.
Yeah, that's not good. Oh, this is gonna be rough. All right, so
All right, so
nothing.
that's my surveillance photo.
That's a good one.
Wait, does that show? That's a crime scene already. So we need Sunday? Did a day
Boy.
pass?
I doubt it.
No, Monday. Okay. So just the photo already shows the crime scene then. It doesn't show changes.
Looks like it. You can hit F on the people that show up to inspect them. All right. I think you need to get warm.
Oh, I'll get to it. That doesn't get me anything. Okay.
All right. Good enough. So now we have to get indoors. I think you got an interesting approach to some of this. Now, obviously, you have some places to start.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got some places to start. You've got some beginner's evidence, right?
Yeah, I've got a little bit. I'm gonna get warm.
No, of course. I mean, I'd get warm. Oh, you know what? You could probably help yourself to some water. By putting your mouth on the water jug and just because I hate that that's how you do it. You never see any cup or animation. You just suck from the water teat, and like one of those hamster things. You know what I mean? Where you have the like metal spigot coming down into the cage, and there's the ball.
God
Like
damn.
the ball bearing. Wow.
Fucking janitor's got hands and a knife.
I forget Discord will actually kick you if you don't if you don't interact with it. I was like,
Yeah.
wow, I'm getting into this. But so anyways, you've been stabbed twice already. And
I've been stabbed twice in about an hour.
Yeah.
And shot
I'd
repeatedly.
say, yeah, so stabbed by a janitor. This is definitely Space Station 13. You were stabbed at the very beginning, and then you were stabbed again by janitorial staff. This is Space Station 13.
Yeah, it is. You don't see me. You don't see me either. Oh, you all see me. Please don't shoot. Please don't shoot. Please don't shoot. Please don't shoot. God fucking damn it.
Oh, they're mad again.
The desk cop always fucking pops one at me as I run by.
That's his job. He usually does desk pops anyways. That's why he works at the desk. He's that guy who put like 4 rounds into the bathroom mirror because he was practicing his speed draw with a loaded gun.
You're not wrong.
That's why desk sergeant is there. He's been doing desk pops, and he's like, "I'll finally earn my place back." And it's like, all right, describe what happened. I saw someone run out. What did you do? I put 2 bullets in him. What was it?
I don't know. There's my crime scene. Alright.
Can I have my gun back?
No. No.
All right, back to the crime scene.
Yeah. Back to detective work.
I'm going to say this much. Despite being mangled and murdered in 100 different fucking ways, this game has more or less reinforced that the spirit of noir is just a grittiness that people seem to accept. Like that body in the rain getting rained on and people just walking by it. That's a lot more film noir than, say, any number of cigarettes smoked in sepia tone or sepia light. Man, this guy looks like a DJ.
That guy looks like he could stab somebody in the street. That guy again, huh? You the same guy? Yes.
Yeah. You think that's him?
I don't know.
Well, I suppose the next thing to do is try to figure out who the hell they are and start running fingerprints. Now, there's multiple angles on the cameras, which is what, chat says.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. I think noir is one of those things, though, where it's a lot of people will think that film noir must be, on silver screen and very, very grayed out, and it's a lot of lighting choices. Or people think that if you put like a sad saxophone playing in a drain pipe, that's noir. And there's more to it than that. There's a lot more to it than that. Themes have to be gritty, but there's also an accepting part of it. That you can also make a lot of fun with the weather. I love that you just found coffee on the ground and were like, I'm gonna suck this down.
Floor
It's probably
coffee.
some it's probably some, again, Space Station 13. There's probably a good amount of potential.
Completely out of money. All right.
Well, I know where to find
It's
some
time
money.
to raise some funds.
I would say this. What if we did a house inspection and we
Gentlemen?
just checked under people's floor mats?
Yeah, we're going on an adventure.
We need to go on an adventure, I think. Ladies and gentlemen, thus begins the fun. So where are we going to start with our adventure?
Well, hold on.
Oh, you're just going to start reading everybody's name and stuff? Time to drink the evidence, as it were. I do this in my playthroughs where I go through and break in and read everyone's data. I read everyone's data. I break into all the housing developments. I break into all their offices and I just read everyone's data. And then at that point, as soon as crime happens, I just go, oh, this guy? And I just turn around and arrest them. Usually I fuck it up still, but it is,
Yeah, no, you have a pretty surefire method with that.
Well, that and while reading everybody's stuff under the presumption of crime is certainly unethical in many ways, it's not illegal in this world. Well, it is kind of illegal in this world, but only if they catch you, which is the marvelous part. If you just decide not to be there, it's not a problem. Are you gonna throw that coffee pot at him?
Getting it ready, yeah.
This is Mockingbird Food Hut, he says. That's what he described this place as.
Salt and pepper. I'm hoping for something I can use as a weapon.
Well,
Yeah.
you could
Which
hold
is
someone
completely
down. You could hold someone down and put salt in their eyes. That's a possibility, salt in their eyes. You could just give them a squeeze, give them the old, give them the old shake.
Arthur Schwartz.
Arthur
Pauly.
Schwartz. All right, now it's time to leave because you got some food. You've filled your pockets. Hobo Cop is now armed.
Yeah.
Begin the criming. Okay, let's go. You've got tinned food, which, not terribly important.
No, I was a little bit hungry. I'm still hungry.
I would say eat the other one. Let's eat while we can.
Oh, I ate both of them.
Oh, so you just like sucked down 2 cans of food? Like,
Yeah, of SpaghettiOs, and I'm still dangerously hungry.
no one wants to admit they 4 or 5 cans of ravioli, but I imagine your guy sitting there like sucking down cold ravioli like Rorschach from Are you opening those as you go by?
Yep.
So people fall in. That's great. We don't have enough trouble in this world. You gotta love when somebody shows up with a knife in their hand and they're like, I am law enforcement. Alright, well.
Please, God, come to the door. It's so important. You need to get here right now.
This is gonna be bad. This is gonna be bad. And as Watchmen Noir, I would say it certainly has noir elements, but there's also big scary universe in certain things. And there's a big statement as well on transhumanism. Like the notion of where your Dr. Manhattan essentially becomes a super being. Like the ramifications of what is it like when something evolves past transhumanism, and you find, holy crap. And there's a lot of bigger stuff there. I don't think it's like the best work ever. I'm not a comic book guru either, but I certainly say it has some noir elements, and I do enjoy
Come on, jackass. Let me get
the
your
story,
hands.
and I enjoyed the movie as well.
Yeah.
I heard this they had a series that wasn't as good, but I don't see how you could follow that up. You know what I mean? It's a story that seems self-contained.
Yeah. Why am I not able to search either of these people?
But I also am one of those weirdos who liked the story, but not the gameplay of the second Max Payne game, which a lot of people think was terrible, terrible. And that's fine, to each their
The
own.
safety officer.
Well, they don't seem very safe there
You
on the
feel very
floor.
safe? Huh?
I don't think they do. And as you know, when we mock our enemies, we need to drink their milk and throw meat at them. That's how you know you've done better than people. Ah, pleased to meet you. Is that your call sign? You say pleased to meet you, and then as you throw the meat at them. And Disco Elysium is something Depp and I both like. I
Yes,
think it's
Disco
probably
Elysium is wonderful.
it's noir. It's very dark comedy,
Alright.
and it's probably one of the most sympathetic looks at true mental illness and suffering that I've ever seen portrayed.
That
And that
is
it's not, yeah,
yeah, that is not a story that could be told by somebody who's had an easy life.
it's a very real story that has a very real element to it, and it's beautifully layered, and you can take it as deep or as
Let
silly as
me
you want, which is important. Are you just trying to fingerprint everyone you've beaten to a coma?
Yes. Well, I've stabbed
All
these
right.
people into a coma.
Yeah. There's elements of Disco Elysium that are certainly
Hey,
noir.
hey, Seon, where's the beef?
Ugh, ugh, that's horrible. But I think that there's parts of Disco Elysium that are very noir, and they're noir touches, especially the first time you hear the theme when you step outside of like whirling and rags and you see the rain and everything. That
Oh
feels very
yeah.
noir. But by the end, you've gone through a lot more than that, and it's a very interesting story. But it's one of those things where I would much prefer everyone to play the game
They're both
and to
safety
have,
officers.
oh, how unfortunate. Very unsafe today.
5292.
5292.
Fucking poor sons of bitches.
Doesn't seem very safe to not keep things for the meat man, does it? I think you should take that trophy for your achievement. Oh, uh-oh. Is it time to... Oh, nope. That's right. Wow. That's not good. Safety factor, -7. And Milsurp, I'd agree to that. Disco Elysium was more hard-boiled than noir, but there are noir elements. I think that Disco Elysium feels like to me like a weird pastiche of cool ideas. It's a patchwork quilt of themes, and it's not just one thing.
Yeah.
And that's why I like it, because I've met people who had very different playthroughs and had very different takeaways from the character and from the experience. And I was like, wow, that shows it's a good game when people have very different playthroughs. All right, let's just start digging through things. So, how many crimes have you committed so far with just this apartment? For real.
Count out from 5. In real life?
Yeah.
So, burglary, several counts of battery.
Attempted
Actually,
homicide.
yeah, aggravated battery or attempted homicide, depending on which
It's
way
a
you want to
knife.
take it.
It's a deadly weapon. Can't be like, oh no, it's a safety knife. And as soon as you sell this selling stolen property, oh, Waldet. Yep. Intent to maim. Oh, man. Now, there's a good question. Did Noir become
She's
like metal
gonna
music?
fucking foul!
Whoa! This lady's cool. This lady's really cool.
It's a 309 battle rifle.
Well, right. Why would it be the actual thing? Anyways, that's someone with an FAL, pretty cool person. Nice. What is that person's name? What was their name?
208 person. That's a
What?
fake fucking name.
That is like, oh, what's your name? Person? Mr. Person? What's your first name? Toure? You're coming with me. Uh-oh. Oh no. What was that, they say? It's knife. Knife to face.
It's knife o'clock.
Bob, my name is Bob Personsonson. Toure person is now dead person. Wow.
You're not allowed to call the police.
This is pretty bad. So you've trapped them in here, and now you're going to begin the maiming. Oh, man.
I'm only keeping them out of my way.
The thing is with noir or metal or any other theme is, sure, there's still noir. There's still stuff that comes out that is. The problem is as time goes on, it takes about 20 or 30 years for something to be truly known as a cult classic or to be even appreciated. Because a lot of stuff is just flash in the pan, but for it to be revisited and discovered by new audiences, especially with film, novels, and everything else, it takes time to matriculate. One of the really good examples of that I quite remind people of frequently is there is a statement that you find that Melville's Moby Dick is probably one of the deepest novels ever written on the nature of the human soul and the nature of wondering and trying to find your place in this world, man versus nature and all this other stuff, considered the great American novel by many, was accidentally rediscovered after being lost, and it was being used by the report I had heard, propping up a book, being used as a prop.
He's a weapons dealer?
Not a good one. You need to have your shit in a safe. I don't care if it's a demonstration model. Remove the firing pin. You shouldn't just leave guns around.
He broke my fucking leg. God damn it.
You know, that happens. That happens when you get in fights with people. But I would probably leave. Just beat people up and leave and take all their things. There you go. See, you got some upgrade vials. Yeah, there you go. And yeah.
3680 or 2192. She's head of HR. 3680. Somebody remember that one.
3680.
And
you know what's sad is in my head I hear music for this.
Oh, good lord.
Oh, wow. Wow. Holy crap. Get rid of them handcuffs. Oh, just
Done.
put it on them. Yeah, simple. Yep, that's what this is about. This is the good times. You can get rid of the upgrade vials. You don't need them. Just take the discs. You can find more of them vials. I'd say just take the disc. Ooh, there's a diamond there? Fuck. Oh, All right, we need to get out
That's
of
why
here.
you always hit the upstairs.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's what you need to do. People are like, who's that? And you just pull the breaker to the lights, and you're like, I don't know who that is.
That man is
Anyways,
desperately trying to pull the alarm.
which doesn't work. You know, it's about the little things. It's about the little things. See, all we gotta do is just go find a place to put your leg on. Uh-oh, they have a security alert.
It's okay, I can
for...
beat it.
All right. Let's see. With a broken leg? Oh, you made it. So it's been a day.
It's been a day. I'm going to solve a murder.
So Greg says all those kids, childs, and small dogs are going to trip and fall down the elevator shaft. Good job.
Yes.
Well, yeah.
Howdy, officer. Don't mind me.
I'm just a normal person doing normal person things. Yes, indeedy. And then you like wheeze and blood comes out.
I need a Band-Aid vendor.
I kind of am horrified of a world
Where
you can, buy full everything in a vending machine, but I am also the person who agreed that when people posted the trauma team prices from the old Cyberpunk book, that they're actually quite reasonable.
Yeah, like they're getting a lot of bang for their buck compared to American healthcare.
Yeah, you get a lot of good stuff. Oh, ooh. You want the information for free with beauty. That is one of those things where you walk up to people and you're like, "Hello."
And am I gonna be a little guy, or do I go for Wilt Chamberlain?
Okay, do we want to be a whittle guy, just a whittle guy who's whittle, or do we want to be the giantest, tallest person we can and get stuck in the geometry?
All right, Hawkins said height is much better.
All right.
I did already do the half pint, the inch high private eye.
That was hilarious.
And passcodes or information?
Well, I'd say passcodes.
Yeah, I'm doing a lot of passcodes.
Yes. Oh, and we can upgrade it. Let's make more information. Let's upgrade that. Yeah. That way we can just go around and be very nice and say, "Are you the criminal?" and they'll agree. You can sabotage cams with extra height. Just don't upgrade it twice, says Hawken.
What happens if you upgrade it twice?
Apparently, don't worry about it. You might want to put that leg on. You gotta drink your splint. Oh, man.
All right.
Oh, boy. Here we go. Dun, 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 dun,
I have been set loose upon this city, and it is everyone's fucking problem. To the Azure Flamingo.
The Azure Flamingo. Ba-da-da-ba. Ba-da-da-ba-ba. Ba-da-da-ba. Ba-da-da-ba-ba-ba. If I could choose to be tall or short, I'd choose to be short.
Yeah?
I honestly would. I at my height was 6'1". Various injuries, I would say 6 foot even. These days is more honest. But if you have any time on American buses or American Airlines or anything else, you will be glad to have less leg to cram in there.
Ow! Good fucking God. I am but a lowly patron.
Dep Chango Unchained. But as far as I mean, yeah, being
Oh
shorter would be a
no, they
lot more.
found
Oh,
me in the alarm room. How dare they?
well, you've already put the implants in you, so they can't take them out.
God
And
damn.
wow. But it's one of those things where everyone I've met who's
I got
taller
reversed
has.
take. I got reversed falling down.
Yeah, that sounds bad. It is a bad end. Reverse falling down, the movie. But no, it's like everyone I've met who's really tall has really bad back issues. Like everybody who's like, oh yeah, I'm 6'6" or what have you, and then they get up out of a chair and it's like,
Yeah.
you're like, oh my god.
People were not meant to return, to walk upright. We need to return to crab.
I am more than happy crab walking. I'm more than happy. I'm more than happy being a short person. I think that would be really nice. You could ask people for help with stuff, and if they said no, you could speed bag their balls. I mean, there's a lot of things you can do as a short people. Also, lower center of gravity so you can throw them.
I guess my little camera thing's just not going to go away.
No, I think, imagine like all the places you've ever sat being a tall person and been like, oh, this is fucking miserable.
Yeah, you fucking lean over a table and all of a sudden you're impaled on the chandelier over it.
Yeah, or bumping heads on stuff. Like if I could have a choice of anything, I would be like, nah, I'd be dwarf. I'd be like short but just broad. That'd be fine. I love how you just go into the police station. You're like, can I have a truncheon, please? And they're like, isn't that criminal? And you're like, no.
No, I don't want to sabotage the alarm. I wanted to shut the fucking door.
Well, now it's time to fight everyone with a hammer. I love how when you beat that person, the cop was just like, whoa, through time and space. Just,
Yeah. Chief medical officer.
Well, not with that brain damage.
Not with that kind of attitude.
I think that if you bonk someone on the head with a hammer, it should remove some of their memories. I think there should be a chance they forget what you look like.
Well, I mean... Jackass!
Wow. Is there a fire escape for any of these buildings?
No.
I'm just wondering, because that seems fairly dire, but not, the worst. I guess we just get everybody's data and everything else. Get in that government database and just start looking through things.
That'll keep them busy.
Ah, yes. Good old chaos.
Sorry, guys, we're gonna have to listen to the alarm, but it's currently shooting all of the police with turrets.
You want to know how I fuck with that database? Just type A. Just type A.
Asia
and just watch everything pop up.
So, I can't get anything to pop up with a single letter. I have to do 2.
Damn. There we go. Get all that information. There you go. Wow, they just showed up with a hammer, and they were like, hammer birthday.
Yep.
I'm going to say this. I mean, there's a lot of alarms active, and I think the police department's going to have a handful for a while. What with the turrets destroying all things known to man.
Yeah. Yeah, they're going to be busy.
They're going to be a bit busy, and that's fine. That's fine. We're just going to gray tide this place.
Yeah, what was that? Strangest thing, that.
It's the weirdest thing, you know. People are just having a hard time. Yeah, they do take their OPSEC seriously. They're very bad at it, but when it comes down to using it, it's all about hammers. Hammer and birthday.
Yeah. So the alarm is still going off, but it appears to have reset the turrets to target me. I got the 762 treatment for sure.
You know, I'm really worried that we've done some things here.
I was trying to undo what I did.
I think we have some problems. In that we've started a catastrophic issue. But it's fine. I'm sure it'll be okay.
Don't see me.
I'd say crawl through the vents to get out.
I'll be fine. I just need this camera to go away.
I'm not sure it will. It looks like that alert is just hanging there.
We're fine.
All right, and here we go. Are you just going to go find more things to put in your pockets?
Well, that is my modus operandi.
Put things in your pockets.
Good fucking God, lady. You're a doctor. Do no harm.
Well, do some harm. I mean, you're allowed to do some harm. I think you're allowed to do, like, 5 minutes of harm. I think. Like, it's a card, right? Like a punch card. I think a doctor is allowed to, like... Because you're allowed to slap some people around. Be like a 1950s doctor. Like, knock it off, buster! You know, and you gotta slap some sense into them.
God,
Give them a little slap.
You took
you
the
know?
fucking chair, too. So
They
now
do that.
Now I can't use the computer.
Oh no, now you have to use their keys. Well, I mean, that's how you turned into this simple inquiry of a database into, oh, what's that? Is that a sync disk just sitting there next to their computer?
It is.
You know, I think that might be useful. Let's just go ahead and have that. Yeah, for every 5 you save, you get to slap one.
He's a marketing executive.
Interesting. Interesting. So you think that this was a marketing ploy? Do you think this was a marketing ploy? Gone wrong? Oh man. We can get some real good stuff. Oh yeah. Yeah, just hide under the desk. Nothing like a 6-foot person, or sorry, like 6'3" person hiding under a desk. Ah, yes, the screwdriver. In Space Station 13, we call this an eye socket adjuster. It's one of them things where you're like, knock, knock, and they say, who's there? And right to the eye.
It's not a stabbing implement apparently.
Unfortunate. Well, it's one of those things in Space Station 13. There are weapons that are actually far better than that as improvised weapon. For the longest time, the toolbox, if thrown, could TKO someone. So if somebody is just being a bastard, you could whip the toolbox at them, and it was quite common for a time to double toolbox. So you'd have a toolbox in each arm, and you whip the first one at their face, And then the second one is for bludgeoning. The toolbox was like the be all end all for a long time. I remember the fire extinguishers being pretty good for a while, and then the fire axe on TG was quite OP. It did so much damage and then dismembering, which was pretty hilarious. Because even in other servers that were built off that code, if you use the fire axe, it would still do the same thing. So I remember when there was the Star Trek 13 servers, the fire axe
God
in engineering,
damn
which
it.
shouldn't. Oh God. Well, almost made it. Nothing like knocking people out with a chair. But no, the fire axe was hilarious because on Star Trek 13, you could throw that fire axe at people and it would just like literally like decapitate or remove a limb almost every time you threw it. So we would steal the axe in engineering because every engineering in Space Station 13 has an axe somewhere. And we would just hide it under a desk or we would hide it under an object, and then whenever people would beam over or whatever, like, oh, I'm the Borg or whatever, you just whip that fire axe at them and cut their head off. So they beam in and you just saw their head off, and they're like, what the hell? All right, so you escaped out of the law enforcement area. Oh, another
Finally.
murder.
Yes, another murder.
Another murder. Completely unrelated to all the things that happened at the police station. There was not another murder there.
Nope.
Obviously. Everything you did was non-lethal or undetected. More likely unclaimed because it makes them look bad. You know what I mean? They're probably like, no, nothing happened. We just need 20 new employees. We need someone to service our turret system for no reason. As you know,
Where's the
very
murder?
very common for a police officer to, you know, walk around with their gun in the Weaver or isosceles
Yeah.
and just walk forward running. Very, very common. Upon detection of crime, law enforcement draws its weapon and marches in a direction. It's like a golem. They just know where it is. They know where the crime is.
I don't know where the crime is. Where the fuck is the crime?
Maybe he's waiting to make it.
Gilliam Street. It's a person hiding. You're not dead, you're just homeless.
Maybe the real crime was inside us all along.
The friends we made along the way. Ah, okay.
Ah. Are they sitting on the body just while they're
Yeah.
working on it? All right. Oh, that jerry can. Hail Cargonian. Just have to drink some of that, praise Zorg. And yeah, you can... Well, that didn't seem to work. I mean, you did throw the jerry can at him, but...
Her.
Oh, of course. Pardon. It's hard to tell with a helmet. Oh, take that key. I've found many times in this game, your approach to disarming police and people is hilarious. I've seen Depp quite literally break into a place, take the weapons out of their hand, bust the window out, and whip them out into the cold. And that seems to not work for them. Ah.
902 Carver Heights.
That's probably a place to go investigate.
Yeah.
There's your second victim. Yep, that's them. A door limited. That sounds like some sort of place that just sells hugs. You know what I mean? A door limited.
4 and 444.
4 and 444. How are they doing that? Are they taking like a liver temperature with their finger? Or do you think they're just guessing it?
Jesus fucking Christ.
You know, probably a good idea to go bust into some apartments.
Yeah. At least one of the
mean,
cops is without his firearm.
Don't
That'll
worry,
make it
we can
easier.
We can defang all of them. Yeah, Sun Tzu once said, "Yeet your opponent's weapons for victory."
This is true. 4679.
4679. All right, let's just go ahead and, help ourselves to that. Oh, what do you bet there's some good things in here? Oh, there's probably a camera. Yep. Oh, yep. You're going to have to turn the light off.
Oh, good fucking God.
Or, yeah, that's not so great. Well, now we're in trouble.
No, we're fine. I just gotta... What was that code again?
4679? All right. There we go. Mm-hmm.
All right.
Not player. That ought to work. All right. Good stuff. And more information. Excellent. Now as the police deal with the man-made horrors beyond their comprehension, we can do what we do, right? Money. Paperclip. What do we got in here? Ah, upgrade vials? That's good stuff.
I am a little concerned.
Why? Why would you be concerned?
About the amount of material being thrown through the wall as if they're still trying to target me, despite me setting it not to.
Did you set the, turn the system off and on? Have you tried that? Cameras off. Yeah, set the alarms off and the cameras off. Just turn everything off. And then just walk out. See? Just walk out. No problem. No security today. No security. Man, that is a lot of angry for the cameras. Oh, that's a lot of bullets.
That's a lot of bullets.
Holy crap. Man, those turrets sure know where guilty people are. Holy crap. Those are some very angry turrets. Could you imagine working in an office that just had gun turrets? Yeah, Hamster says, luckily they didn't load Full Metal Jackets. Oof. I mean, this is a really high-stakes office. I know a lot of people are upset that, like, their boss might be watching them while they work. But I don't think anyone has ever had to be upset as, like, someone with turrets in the workplace.
Yeah.
The HR department controls the turrets? I hope not. They'd be like, that doesn't look very productive of you. You don't seem to be a team player. And then, you don't seem to have what it takes to make it in this high-stress environment. You're like, I agree.
I completely agree.
I agree. This seems very unreasonably high stress.
This is why you don't leave your stuff on.
Yeah, you should always log out of your computer. Oh. All right, there we go. Grab
Is
that.
that a syringe?
Apple. It might be. Sometimes people just have some drugs at work. You know, just some work drugs. Just the office drugs, which I'd say just put that in that corner there. There you go. Yeah, Hamster of Rest says he'd be taking drugs if he worked under a turret.
Well, okay, yeah, that's fine. That's pretty valid point.
I think that's reasonable. Just eat that apple, and let the world do what it do. Throwing that apple was very illegal, they say.
Yeah, yeah, they don't like littering here. Buckshot.
Buckshot. Again, there's shells and guns. There's just no ability to use them yet, except the other people can have guns, which
Oh
is
yeah.
weird. But I think it's because if you walked around 12 gauging people, the game would be very empty very quickly.
I think that's true, yeah.
Just gonna hide down there and get into stuff. So your approach to law enforcement is probably the most trash panda approach to law enforcement I've ever seen. You just
In this
act
game,
like,
yeah.
Yeah, you just act like a raccoon or a possum, and you just start going through garbage. And it's one of those things where I know in real life a garbage dump is horrific, but you're just sitting there like, you know what? I'm gonna go through the things. Are you eating a bunch of Marmite?
Yeah.
Ugh. Like I've had a little bit before, a little bit on toast. Fine. The correct amount on toast, not what they do for tourists. Because if you ever ask to have Marmite or Vegemite, those sons of bitches will lather you up a ridiculous amount, and then be like, "Oh, this is what we have."
Yeah.
And then you're like, I'm going to die. You're about to be made again, and you're going to have to give up all that stuff you just found. You're going to need to turn the lights off. That usually helps. Oh, man. We're probably going to need to get out of here. What with the violence happening? Yeah, I think this would be cool if the game had crafting like Arcanum. So you can trash panda shit together. Run before they come down on you. Run. All right. I think Bovril's not bad. I've used Bovril before and stuff like that to, make more or less beef tallow tea, which, if you have a fucked up throat, can be actually quite nice. It's not everyone's favorite. Not a lot of people like drinking essentially thin, hot beef soup.
Photography, nah.
Photography skills
Photography, nah.
Usually that means pornography. So
No
let's
questions
go
asked. No questions answered. That's my kind of job.
Did they just sneeze on that? Or is that just... I mean... Uh-huh. All we gotta do is take some of these weird jobs in between the murders. And I'd say sell that diamond. And,
Yeah.
Eh.
Public humiliation? Yeah, I'll do that. Apartment for
Alright, that
sale?
sounds
Nah.
fun. You got a place. You barely see it anyways.
Oh, I got too many open cases.
Oh, man. It just says, new murder case. Humiliate. And I'm like, whoa. Doesn't seem right.
3063.
You can't take any more things. You're gonna need to sell stuff. You're gonna need to move some of your merch.
Yeah, I need to go hit my fence. As I walk the quiet streets of Pugilist City, past the unrecovered body still lying where it fell. It dawns on me that approximately 6 hours have passed. And
I've been
I've
in the
caused
hospital
all of this
14 times.
chaos. I've been stabbed and shot more times than I care to count.
It's alright. Now we're going to go have fun.
Can you imagine a man this size just crawling through air ductwork? Bong, bong, dong, chung. As he
Yeah,
just
it would
like
not be.
pops and creaks.
As you walk through that, you would hear every bolt and rivet break. So you just hear a series of loud pops and then slithering as someone dragged themselves through a dusty HVAC system. And then you'd probably hear coughing or sneezing. And you just try not to look up as the bulge in the ceiling scrapes by.
Yeah. Alright. I need to sit somewhere and wait, I guess. And people just are not at all concerned about that body.
Oh, my neighbor's starting one of his 5 motorcycles.
Fantastic.
If you ever wanted to sound film noir as shit, though, just start quoting Max Payne. One of my favorite moments, though, in Max Payne is like when he has that hallucination, and you know, he goes like, "There was something disturbingly familiar about the note on the desk. The handwriting was all pretty curves, and the note reads you're in a computer game, Max." Yeah.
I would like to sit. Can I sit? Please God, I would like to sit. This one I can sit on.
That time he calls himself Frankie the Bat, and he's like, "I'm Frankie the Bat Niagara," and he's like, "Niagara is in you cry a lot." That's good film noir. You have a detective that is just nonplussed by the
Yeah.
unfurling and unveiling of things.
I would be very interested to see, because I know that they don't really want to do very much right now with the Max Payne IP.
Well, they did the third game,
Yeah.
where it's an okay story and it's an okay action game and it's an interesting setting. It just doesn't feel like Max Payne.
Yes.
It just feels like Burnout goes to South America and more or less that movie Man on Fire. It's that movie Man on Fire. Like, oh, you were the protector, but you failed, but you're trying to redeem yourself. And oh, it's not what it seems. And it's family versus family. And it's a foreign land that you're a fish out of water in. And different rules here, Max. And good cops and bad cops and all that stuff. And Max
Yeah.
Payne 3 feels like a movie tie-in of a game.
It does. Is this place just dirty bunny sat down?
Oh no, this is one of the things I like to point out is I usually will find a diner in this game that I call PJ McFilthy's. Because whenever you have time to wait in a diner, you will watch everything just slowly get dirtier and dirtier and dirtier and dirtier. And you can sit down and just whip food at the floor and it helps. And so it gets more and more and more disgusting over time. And you'll just watch roaches and flies and everything. It's hilarious. Welcome to PJ McFilthy's, where the floor is for fun. Welcome to PJ McFilthy's, where grease is a way of life. Floor food from the creators of Floor Pills. TM.
Please don't shoot me.
No, man. Oh, Man on Fire was good. Man on Fire was a good film. I was going to say like Man on Fire, similar but legally distinct from.
Yes,
A
always important.
comparison is a comparison is made just to say similar to, but is not implied to suggest that it is from the same well. Man on Fire is a competent film, and it actually has a lot of really decent layers to it, but more or less a story of redemption and accepting your place in the unfair exchange of life. That's an interesting story. Max Payne's story is one of revenge, but in Max Payne's story of revenge, you find that by the end of the first one, he's consumed and killed everything he wants, and it doesn't bring him real closure. It's just you realize vengeance is done. So it's a very different kind of statement. It's not about making the world right. It's just making sure the bad guys don't win.
Yeah. God, it is freezing cold here all the time, so you have to go to like the one diner that's going to be open.
Asclepius says, of all the streams on all the Twitch, this is the one he chose to resub to. I know he was trouble the minute he started watching, like a YouTube admin throttling a Text Talks release. See, that's Noir. That's Noir.
That's pretty fucking warm.
Yeah, that's pretty Noir. But what about Second Vengeance? Second Vengeance is hard. That's a lot of vengeance. I mean, if
Most
we're
people are
going
tapped
by-
out after their first, if I'm honest.
Well, look at Macbeth. Look at Macbeth. Like, I know a lot of people are going to go, oh, you mean the Scottish? No, Macbeth. I'm not a moron. When you can call a play. You don't have to be freaked out about it. Unless you're running the production, then it's a Scottish play. Then you do that. But in the play Macbeth, you end up with a story of vengeance, but very few people die. It's more the people torturing themselves over the killing. And that's kind of interesting. Who knew what blood, he had and all of these other things. And you find people who are losing their mind and tormented by their deeds. So the dead are like striking back upon them. It's really interesting is stuff. The place was slower than the bandwidth that YouTube gave a BPL video premiere. That's good Noir.
That's good Noir.
But it's one of those things where in film noir, really good noir makes you go, it has to be bitter. It has to be bitter.
Is this another murder?
There's a lot of murders, okay? Look, just get the prince and move on. You didn't solve the last one. Wow, someone killed Randolph P. Checker's dad. Oh, I love how it says public humiliation and then examining the body on the same page. It's like, what kind of story are you in? Unknown citizen. Unknown murder, but... Man, someone just going around stabbing people. That seems to be the way. A lot of Mr. Z Shadid. Zaid Shadid. Zaid Shadid. That sounds like something that would be like on the basketball court, you know what I mean? Like, number 53, Zaid Shadid. And then he'd be like, bam, 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 and just come out like
Got
to
a
the music.
pistol on him.
Yeah. Man, that's a good name for like, if you wanted to play like a boxer, and that's a good name. Oh, yeah, that's a good name. That's a good one.
My investigation's over, I guess. Are you open yet? Jesus Christ. I just need to fence this shit before I'm caught.
Yeah, some of the stores are like that, unfortunately.
They really need either multiple stores or hours posted, and if people don't show up, they'll teleport to the fucking desk.
Or they get fired and someone replaces them. That would be funny.
Something like that.
That would be funny if like they didn't show up for 3 days. A missing persons got called in. Look, murders happen. Don't worry about it. I think they start at like 10, I want to say, but it can take time for them to get there. Come on down to PJ McFilthy's, where the whole floor is made of crap. You just walk in there and it's like,
Oh, that crime scene just got reported.
ah, wow. How long did that take? How long did that crime
Like
take?
3 hours.
Wow. That is a long time for them to call that shit in. I mean, that's realistic. Because if someone was murdered somewhere, you know, if they couldn't be found right away, it could be hours before someone called it in. Because how many people would walk by someone on a park bench before realizing they're not breathing? Most
Yeah.
people just don't see stuff. PJ McFilthy's is just a dump. It's just some guy coming out and he looks like a sweat stain of a human being. You know, one of those people that when they wear a button-up shirt, they sweat through it. I've been that person on occasion. Oh man, that's an illegal action.
Yeah, I threw their ketchup at their sink. So naturally, I must be executed for my crimes.
You know, I think that in this city,
Where'd that body go?
well, you know, sometimes they get called on up to a higher power. By that I mean they probably scraped him off the street, or they said one body per street, like there's a strict limit, right? Like a strict limit
Yeah.
of how many bodies you can have in the street.
Oh, are you...
Up, yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to buy
Check that.
something.
There we go. Let's sell all of these things and then go upgrade our sync disk. We could we could upgrade of them. Upgrade. You could get a sword. Swords are cool.
Yeah. Sword.
I'm not.
Sword.
I'm sword.
Sword.
Sword. PJ McFilthy's the best dirty rice in town.
Swords are cool. Swords are the best weapon in the game, as far as I can tell.
They said sell that videotape. That was a VHS. Only Betamax is allowed. Well, God, what a grim dystopia that is. However, this is 1979. A VHS would be worth a lot of money. All right.
I thought this was 1984.
No, just in theme. I thought it was 79.
It just says late. I thought that box said money.
Well, I mean, you know, that sounds legit. Ah, yes, welcome to Moneybox. PJ McFilthy's greases for more for good than cooking. I bumbled that. There's a reason why I'm not a voice actor. I can't do many voices. And, like, I'll do voices where I have to pitch my voice up. I've had to do that a few times when people are like, that voice sounds familiar. And I'm like, no. You know, you just do your best. But the problem is like, after I'll do it, my voice just bottoms out. And I'm like, ugh. Experience our... PJ McFilthy's experience our friction-free floors. You see someone move a chair to pull the chair back for someone, and they barely put pressure on the back of it, and it slides to the back wall. PJ McFilthy, try our garbage plate special, now on real plates. Oh man, I hate some of the wallpaper in these places. Ah man, a lot of FNFALs in the next to the coat racks and stuff in this town.
This is the same lady.
Ah. All right, well, let's go look around. Let's go see what we can find.
Yeah, it won't even let me equip the FAL as a club, because I was going to club her with it.
You know, I mean, sure. If it's an inch pattern FAL, that's what you do with it. Good luck finding parts in the Western Hemisphere. Uh-oh. Well, that sorted it out. Get it? Sorted it out. Get it? Because the
Because the sword,
I,
yes.
yeah, I'm not. Please know that Tex Talks BattleTech is a process that takes a long time. I'm not that clever with words. It's those are the jokes I start with. you're you're lucky to get what you get. Uh, I'll do like really bad dad jokes, and I'll be like, man, that sucks. I too leave my wallet on the hi-fi. Oh, a diamond. Well, shine on. That sounds good. Gotta leave my wallet on the hi-fi. Well, let's go ahead and put on that old Frankie Sinatra.
That's a good song.
Yeah, it is. The music video for that is pretty surreal, but that's pretty much what I feel a BPL meetup turns into eventually. A
Yeah.
Frankie Sinatra music video. Are you
Um,
gonna do the ding dong
yeah,
doofus
I'm
where you
doing
just run
the,
the
I'm
sword? All
buffaloing
right.
them.
Yeah, just get. What's funny with that? What's really funny with that is you end up with a really honest look at how law enforcement used to work in the 1880s and
Yeah, this was
1890s.
a favorite tactic of Wyatt Earp.
Law enforcement back then was seriously, if you go read how the Earps did law enforcement, they wouldn't sit there and be like, place your hands up or draw. They'd be like, well, he's walking away, so I run up and hit him over the head with my gun as hard as I can and then take him to jail. It was an era of just I make up the rules, and a lot of those early law enforcement types were do or die. So you end up with a lot of crazy stories. But like, yeah, pistol whipping people in the Wild West was usually the way to handle it.
They really need a quick swap or something.
I agree. Especially for items, like for various items, I think so.
Yeah, either a button to quickly drop or equip your last item or something. And
Sure.
there is a small ceramic jar.
Yeah, it's a jar of farts. There's a trophy there.
There's a
It probably
trophy
says
there.
participant.
I
I
think
learned
that's worth more
something
than a
this.
videotape.
Well, I learned something as a child. I was sitting there. I was sitting there trying to understand why the adults were so very saying that the trophy was really important. It was really important for like little league baseball to try for the trophy, and they kept saying the trophy is really valuable and all these other things. And being an autistic kid, uh, when someone says something's really valuable, I assume literal, like this is made out of precious, if not irreplaceable material.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh my God. So when I saw people like disrespecting trophies, I was like, you have to really take care of that. And everyone thought I was weird for a while. Then I found out what they meant by valuable was like is a mark of your merits or achievement.
Yeah, who gives a shit about that?
Yeah, no, it was like, what? No, that's not that important. I thought it was like some precious metal. I thought as a kid there was like trophonium or something, like some metal that trophies were made out of. But I was pretty gullible as a kid. My dad told me when I saw reruns of the original series that that high pitched but certainly female voice singing at the beginning of the original series Star Trek theme was Sulu. My dad was like, "That's Sulu singing," and I was like, "Wow." Believe that for like 15 years.
What disgusting piece of shit puts an apple core in a drawer?
I've seen grosser stuff
I
than that on
know, I
work
have
sites.
too.
I saw somebody who put a sandwich in their nightstand.
Ugh.
Like they took 2 bites and they're like, "I'll finish that later." Opens nightstand, sandwich in there, closes it. But yeah, I was like, oh, trophonium. I thought it was a special metal that they only made trophies out of or something. Because when you're a kid, you just say, oh, well, if somebody says this is valuable, it is.
Lock the door.
I mean, I was a dumbass, gullible kid like any other kid.
Well, yeah. I mean,
Problem.
that is the experience of being a child.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I've met people who are like, I was never dumb as a kid. You couldn't fool me, and I was like, what? Why would you brag about that? Like as a kid, if your parents say something really stupid and you believe it into adulthood, that's fine. You
Yeah,
could be a
they're
little gullible or a little naive, but
you
when
begin to
someone's like,
grow up when you realize as a
sure,
child that adults can be wrong.
that was a hard one for me, because the first premise that I remember having is that my parents are usually right, and the older I got, the more I realized, wow, they were just making that up the whole time, like Wallace and Gromit laying the train tracks down as fast as the train is going down the tracks. I was like, holy shit! And you don't realize that till later, that most people are just kind of doing this thing as fast as they can, as best they can.
Yeah.
See, I had this experience when I was 35. I mentioned it on the Patreon. I mentioned it on the podcast. And I just try to remind the people of like this is the way of life. But when I was 18 and I could fully legally do most of the stuff I wanted to do, I was like, okay, uh, I know what I'm gonna do now. I've figured life out. I've moved out of that. I've shaken off that childhood era, and now I'm into adulthood and all
Uh-huh.
that other stuff. I know what I'm doing. And then you get to 21, right? You get to 21, and you go, nah, man, I didn't know shit when I was 18, but now I've got my life figured out. That last 3 years was practice. And then you get to like 25, where you can start renting cars. You start reaching that part of adulthood where you start seeing more sameness than change.
Yeah.
And you go, well, I didn't know shit when I was 21. I was full of shit. I was a cringe ass kid. And then now I've got some life experience. And it took me to the age of 35 to realize two things. One, this shit keeps changing. And two, I don't know shit.
See, it says it's open. The door is unlocked. There's nobody here.
It's when someone says, I've gotten this figured out, you have to be worried. Because they're going to say something really dumb.
Yeah. Alright, nobody's here.
Because, like, if I asked you how many stars are in the sky, you're probably going to go a lot. And I'm going to go probably. And you could say billions and billions. And I would say probably. You could say too many for me to count. Probably.
Probably.
But if you give me a number that's exact, I'm going to go, no. I find it easier to believe people who can guess or say, I don't know, than someone who goes, well, actually.
Yeah.
Matt Guardian says, why don't you play a game like Company of Heroes do? The voice of Griglack, ladies and gentlemen, and the first editor of Tex Talks Battletech, and one of my friends.
And a good guy.
He's a good guy. Griglack, son of Griglack. I fly real bird.
It's a wonderful
son
line.
of Griglack, we must feed frog.
A frog became a crucial part of our team, and I will not have him.
That was the thing where you guys fucked up reality.
Yeah.
You guys fucked up reality.
And?
So you could feed a frog.
Uh-huh.
It's just one of those things of like, okay, there's this many and got it. And Diggs, if you could drop Thorax's thing of frog and Thorax's thing of frog and oh man, Primark pizza, I would really appreciate it. Because people who haven't seen that, that is just a majestic thing. Because I had set up that whole scenario because I know how absolutely heinously lethal point blank range gunfights are in Dark Heresy. And I had filled that house with nothing but rat holes where they could easily close doors or whatever, and you would have to clear the whole house. Like, my whole idea was, as soon as you shoot it out in the lobby, everyone else is going to go behind things, and it's going to turn into a rail shooter. And then
Okay.
I was going to have some of them run out the back and get into a vehicle, and then you would have had the opportunity for a gunfight, like driving down the road, and a few other ideas I'd written out. And then Mike's just like, blow up the room. And thanks, Diggs. Yeah, but Mike was just like, what if we just blow it up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's Mike.
Yeah, no, he's just like, all right, let's just put some grenades in the thing and blam.
Blammo, there
Yeah,
we are.
but I, even though I'd written all that shit, I was like, you know what? That is so fitting. I'm just gonna let it happen.
It was, yeah. or the
Mike had the correct answer to the riddle of, violence, and the answer was
Mike
yes.
had the military answer. Yeah. So
I
throwing
think that
power or punching power.
if you make throwing power really high, you could probably kill people with random objects just whipped. I wouldn't, but punching power is hilarious because it's just you can make it to where you punch people into the afterlife.
All right. I really, really would like to get more pockets.
That's one of the most useful sync discs.
Mm-hmm.
Is one of those things.
They call me Mr. Pockets.
They call me Mr. Grabby because I grab all the things and I put them in my pockets. They're like, well, we have a Mr. Grabby here who has some other charges on him. You that guy? No! Unfortunate coincidence. I'm Mr. Pockets.
Yeah, my name should probably have been Klepto with the way I've been playing this so far.
Oh, man.
Howdy, officer. Nothing to see here. How high does this one go? 17? So see, by opening these doors, I turn this into one of those European constant motion elevators. They're popular in like the 20s and 30s. I can just walk off at any floor.
I've seen a few of those, and they horrify the shit out of me. Because if you're bad at, like, knowing when to step off an elevator, that's a foot remover.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, Goat says they still have several in Rio de Janeiro.
I believe it.
And Hamster says they are fucking terrifying. I can imagine. Yeah. Could you imagine having a turret like that in your room? You're just like sleeping in the middle of the night and there's just this lazy laser panning around, which if you walk in front of will cut people in half.
Yeah.
Because it activates the turrets, which are dumber than a pug, who will just start shooting everything that moves. Oh, Soap Dictator redeemed Stretch. All right.
Oh, is it time? All right.
Okay, I shouldn't have done that. I'm just
That
gonna
was
sit back down.
that was an audible one, yeah.
Yeah, I did that yesterday. Diggs can confirm that is literally my back. Yesterday I sat up in a meeting
And a water
and I was
break.
talking. Oh, yeah.
All right.
It's one of those things where that's why I tell people. I've said on the podcast and Patreon plenty. I don't expect anybody to be in perfect shape or look great, but certainly do anything you can for your joints while you're young. Please do.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying you have to do yoga or headstands or be an Olympian.
You
But
know, yoga's actually pretty nice, though.
Yoga is nice. Everyone I know who's done the yoga thing has really done well. All the people I knew in high school that embraced like yoga are doing really well. The ones I still keep in touch with, like they're still have a lot of mobility. All the people I know who did like track or a lot of heavy running have knee and ankle problems.
Yeah. Alright, I've successfully escaped the lasers by breaking down a different door.
Oh, isn't someone else murdering people in the city somewhere? Yeah, we'll get to that. We have a very different approach to solving crime.
I'm not a cop.
We're not cops. That's the first mistake.
1997.
We're a law enforcement.
Yeah, I'm doing this as a hobby. I'm just bored.
Yeah, he's just a bored sociopath touching things. Oh, what's that? Stuff?
Yeah, it's stuff. It's a prop gun from Kolob Grieving.
Again, in this universe, Kolob Grieving seems to be a big hit.
Yeah, just positively smashing.
Shadows of a Doubt, more like Disco Purgatory. Okay, that's good. Instead of Disco Elysium, Disco Purgatory.
Yeah, that's
I could see that. I remember in one of these buildings, I went in and I started going through stuff as best I could, and I found a cigarette on the counter. And I was like, oh man, they smoke. And then I found an ashtray, and then another cigarette, and then cigars, and then ashtrays and cigarettes and cigars and ashtrays and cigarettes and cigars. And the desk was full of, like ashtrays and cigarettes and cigars, and all their drawers were full of like tobacco. And so their whole house was like everything that could hold tobacco had tobacco products. And I was like, man, this house must smell. And then you like bust in the safe and it's more tobacco. Like, yes, the good cigarettes are in the safe. The reductive approach to detective work. Reduce the population until the killer is gone.
I may accidentally kill this killer. Like, that is entirely possible.
It's entirely possible. I mean,
it's not likely, but it's...
they say crime doesn't pay, but it seems so far that your random assaults do.
It's investigation, it's not crime as such.
What's amusing is before the Robert Peel reforms to the Metropolitan Police Service.
This is about how they work?
Well, what's crazy is he's the guy who starts detecting crime as part of law enforcement.
Yeah, this is a very Peelian look at law enforcement. The cops show up. If it's obvious the guy on scene is it, then they'll arrest him. But otherwise, they don't detect.
It was considered immoral and unseemly to investigate crime or to look into people's private lives. You could only stop someone in the commission of a crime. So Sir Robert Peel, also known as Bobby, and that's where you get Bobbies from as a lexicon for Metropolitan Police Service in London, he's the guy who modernizes the police force, and he is the guy who says, no, we should be able to detect crime. And so because it was so unseemly to detect crime, he had to have undercover detectives who wore plain clothes, and as it turns out, that was just pretty smart anyways.
Yeah. So all I've got left to sell is the diamond.
But early law enforcement is really interesting study.
If you're so inclined.
Oh, yes.
Don't mind me, officer. Now, I had one. I had a murder where it was somebody murdering cops.
Uh-huh.
Just fewer and fewer cops in the city every time.
Right, and you were like, oh no, people who, oh man, that's terrible. You were like, that will stop me from doing my things. Surely that will stop this game, and then you just continue robbing places with no one to stop you.
Well, I mean, they'd still show up and shit. God.
It just take longer.
Yeah, it did. Because instead of coming from the station, it'd be coming from, like, their house. Because they were off
God.
duty. They were the one cop left.
That's tragic, but hilarious.
So I guess that store... So this has happened in all of the worlds that I've generated. That the one pawn shop will just not spawn people, or they'll get stuck somewhere.
Nothing like showing up to a pawn shop with a sword and a diamond.
Yeah, and it's completely unguarded.
Yeah, you just kick the door in smelling like a hobo. And you've got a sword and a diamond, and you've had nothing but like milk and rotten meat to eat.
Yeah.
And you've been showering fully clothed in strangers' showers while
Yeah,
you
just
hold
getting
your
wet.
sword and diamond. Just while you hold your sword and diamond in some sort of kung fu stance.
And it's a sword they sold me. It's the even funnier part.
Metis Guardian, I have no idea why that's done in that, but it's probably some strange little inside joke. But Hamster of Wrath says that it wasn't unguarded. They saw Depp coming and legged it.
Well, wouldn't you?
It's the sword diamond hobo. Better leave before I get sworded. Would this be a sordid affair?
It very much is. Alright, come on, open up, police. Open up. Have you noticed that some of the door numbers are backwards?
I have. I presume that was an error. I had somebody who tried to tell me that it was,
I think it decides one side or the other is the outside. Oh god, no, that's not what I meant to do. Sorry.
Sorry about that. Very
Sorry about that.
Very sorry. Oh, anyways, violence. Anyways, sorry about that. My sorry. Anyway, lock the door. Yeah, nothing like Mr. Whoever the hell he is. So, are you just gonna presume that eventually you'll run into the murderer?
I should probably at some point investigate that, shouldn't I? Is this tobacco guy?
Oh no.
A lighter.
This might be tobacco person. Matchbook.
Matchbook.
They have sauces.
Fuck yeah, I want some gem steaders. Ooh, and fairy bed?
I don't even know what fairy bread is.
Neither do I.
Are you just gonna get drunk and whip beer bottles in a sleeping person's house? They're like, what was that? Man, I sure love hanging out and with my pixelated Van Gogh.
He was sleeping with a box cutter. God damn.
It's a rough city, man. I mean, I've lived in some rough cities, but I've never taken a box cutter to fucking bed, Thank you, Mr. Trine.
Year you were born.
Year you were born. We'll check his ID. Uh-oh. Are you throwing up?
No, I fell down because I'm drunk and I'm tall.
Oh yeah, you had the one drink, the one beer.
That I didn't even finish because I whipped it at this guy.
Some people are lightweights. I've met people who drink one beer and they just go flush and they have to start singing.
76, 72.
What do you think's in the box?
I don't want to know.
It's probably a fridge.
It's a pretty large one, so we need the year that they were born then.
That'll be the other one.
Yeah. $19? Fuck yeah.
That's money I didn't have to have. Uh-oh. Looks like it's time to... Oh, what was that? Coma.
Fucking
That's
Hank
what it
Hill
was.
here.
Oh!
I don't get to go nowhere.
Damn it, Bobby. It's a home invasion.
Oh, good God.
I'm about to drop the hammer and deliver indiscriminate justice.
Matchbook, chess set, turntable.
Yeah, turn on that hi-fi. Let people know they're in trouble. Just put on like an old record like Mighty Mouse, you know, and just turn the speed down. Turn the speed down. So, you know, you
let them
like
know this is gonna get weird.
So it's like, and then you just start swinging.
Where the fuck are their wallets at? Work, Rhoda. Work, Rhoda.
So you start swinging.
That is horrific. Holy smoke cigarettes!
Why do you hate my beautiful music? It's different, you know. It's not for everyone. Are you thinking you can fit that box out the window? Because I bet you can. I bet you could fit their whole apartment out the window. If you really wanted to. Did you just pick up that box or... Oh. Wow. Yeah. Yeah, if you fuck with the police, we throw your shit out the window.
Your beer sucks. You got awful taste in implements as well. Toy car, matchbooks. Yeah, what happened?
What happened, Bobby? Ah!
Matchbook, shopping
My
list.
brain hurts.
Looked like somebody was getting out. 1941. Alright, so we'll try that date of birth. If not that one, it's the other one. No. It's not that one.
Mistakes were made. Weapons were yeeted. All you gotta do is pull some of these barriers and such. And, yeah. Mr. Oliver Gray. Likely story. Likely story. Not likely a real person.
Lock the door.
This just seems to be a way of going through and just finding stuff. You know, just finding stuff. Now, eventually we may find a real murderer, or maybe, perhaps, why children love the taste of Cinnamon Toast Crunch. But we'll see.
Nil Oritz.
Nil Oritz. Is that them saying, like, there's no Oritzes, or...
There we go. See, it's usually at the back. Oliver Gray's female. Nil Oritz, 1933.
Well, they seem to have some really horrifying wallpaper in this room.
They do.
If I walked into someone's house and I saw that, is that a pistol silencer they just have? Like they just have that? See, there's a lot of things that I want to play with in this game, like suppressors, pistols, and, you know, the shotguns and such. The occasional FAL, you know, for detective work. Hurts like hell. That's what you say when you get cut in the face with a sword. And yes, Darth Dragon, my person picks my mail up, and I see them maybe twice a month. Or, sorry, once every 2 months, if at that. So, yes, indeed, we did get that. Thank you. However, I'm way behind on getting stuff, answering mail, and what have you, so I do feel bad for that. And all we gotta do is ride the elevator down.
So the richer people live on the top floors of all of these very tall buildings, um, so that you're more likely to get sin discs and other good stuff like diamonds from their
I've
apartments.
found that if you rob the rich people, my lord, do you make money?
Yeah,
If you go into poor
we're
people's houses,
we're doing okay on sin discs. We haven't ruined our social credit yet. We're not doing very well at solving these murders, but I also haven't run down a single lead. I've been distracted by my constant hospital visits. God damn it. I would like the sword. Give me the sword.
you don't need a
Sword.
sword.
I paid for that fucking sword.
I know. It's the best that you could buy at the mall.
Ah.
You know, it's just one of those moments where you just gotta, ooh, increase the speed of lockpicking? That's scary.
Yep, by 50%, or the efficiency, which I don't need because lockpicks are plentiful,
Yeah.
or entering the lockpicking stance only no longer counts as an illegal action. So it's still illegal to lockpick, but it's not illegal to start the action.
I would say just do the speed, because if you do it fast enough, no one sees it.
Yeah, and we're going to be lockpicking a lot.
Yeah, you could just make it like a ratchet wrench, you know, and just done.
I much
Handle.
preferred being tall to being short, or much preferred being short to being tall. I'm having to crouch to like look in drawers and shit.
Well, I would say just go be the shortest guy, be the inch high private eye, you know,
This
if
goddamn
that speaks to
city.
you.
I do appreciate the random like ravings of citizens as you run by.
All too real.
Yeah, it
All too
is.
real.
It is a very real motherfucker, why does it say open?
Well, they lied.
Ugh,
It's kind
that
of like
they
it's kind
don't
of like Delta
lock the
Airlines when
door.
they said they cleaned, and like that was one of the most surreal experiences of traveling. Is you
What's
get on
flying
Delta
Delta?
Airlines. Well, you get on Delta Airlines and they have a video where they talk about how important it is to clean, you know, and making people feel welcome on airlines and post COVID and all these things and safety. And you watch this video that's constantly playing on a loop as you sit down, but also at the same time you look down at the seat in front of you and there's like half a sandwich. So it's like either Delta Airlines has like opened a new business and pre-chewed food, you know, just gratis. Like, hey, here's a pre-chewed sandwich for you. Enjoy, no charge. I won't even tell you where it comes from. You know, just something like that. Or you know, it seems like there's something said, and then there's reality.
I'm
I
very
mean,
cold.
it's not the worst experience I've had in seated travel.
It's not.
That would no, but I will say that wow, okay, that's bad. You just walked in there and the guy just said, "You know what? Bang. You know what you're having for lunch, Buster?
Lead.
Magnum." Yeah.
God fucking damn it. I waited like 3 hours. Renewed the security threat. Now we get to hide in a fucking corner like Solid Snake.
Yeah. Discount Dan's pre-chewed food. It's so soft you only have to swallow. I don't I don't put it past them. I when I was sitting in my seat on the plane, they came up and asked if I wanted a credit card. And I said, "Why?" Like just why? And I meant like why are you trying to sell me something when I've already bought a seat in this thing? You've already won.
Yeah.
Like you've won, I lose. Please don't rub it in. And they were like, well, here's why. You could get more flights. And I'm like, more flights on this? Why would I want that?
Sounds worse.
I mean, it sounds like, hey, would you like to sign up for this charge card? And you're like, well, what do I get if I use it more? And they're like, we want random shit in the upper part of your toilet. And you're like, pass. No thanks. Not necessary. I'm good. Oh man, I hear DJ Train out there.
Yeah, you do. I do too.
No, that's the one thing I find funny is, you know, some people when they go to a train crossing or passing, it's the one, man, you know, like, hey, don't be on the train tracks, okay. Then there is the person who feels they have missed their calling. They feel they need to spin. And they're like, DJ Khaled, and another one, and another one, and another one. And they just do that because I realize with every push of that button, that is a cry for help. And we should feel sad for them. Every push of that button is them renewing the agency they were denied in life. It is a scream. Please pay attention to me. I am a professional. I insist you pay attention. And I'm like, you know, I won't. Thank you, DJ Train.
Where? So there's no way to then.
But yeah, no. Some train engineers are very courteous. They're just like, oh, there's people there. Okay, toot toot, simple, right?
Yeah.
Some people will hold it down. I had one guy who held it down, and I counted because I had been having a heavy train traffic day. And the reason I counted is I'm not sitting there pulling out a stopwatch, but I was recording something. So while I wait, I can actually see how much I have to cut, you know, in seconds. One guy held the horn down for 47 seconds. Straight. Just, and I'm like, you must be really cool.
Do you hear the balloon deflating sound when you walk into a party, or is that added in post?
That's a good question. I'd have to think on that.
Well, I'm not asking you. I'm asking regarding Mr. Train.
Well,
because you know that somebody that has to say, you know, that's the amount of attention I am getting is less than what I deserve.
Well, it's kind of like a Harley Davidson, ain't it? Because
like, you know,
loud pipes do save lives, but there's still that guy who cranks his hog and doesn't ride.
Yeah.
He rolls. That's correct. That's what they do.
God, he even runs like a fucking stripper.
How many strippers have you seen run, Deputy?
Oh, they're fast in heels, man. You gotta be careful.
Type of shitpost based Valhalla. An absurdist comedy club where all great shitposters exist. Where nothing is serious, where irony is the only language we speak. We go out into the world and we come back with new and greater extremities, to dragging them in like a fresh kill so that we show them to other shitposters. And at the end of each day, the material is wiped clean and anew. The world is remade in new and more absurd ways, and the only way we can cope with it is through greater acts of shitposting. And this shall be our eternity. There might even be a feast of beans, terrible mac and cheese, pizza abominations, fucking carbonated sodas made of spaghetti. You have no idea. This could be ours. This could be our fate, and you are but one step from realizing this opportunity for yourself. I'm so proud.
Alright, and we're back.
The train didn't do it.
The train did not do it.
I promise Mr. Train did not finally come out to claim me. I promise that did not happen. Instead, it was more, what's the word? Thunderbird. No, it's just that weird 204 glitch, and it happens more often than not, but sometimes it doesn't. And it can be random. It can be games that are low end that it happens on. It can be games that are high end that it happens on. You've updated your OBS. You've
Yeah.
done, and you stay up to date on, driver updates. And, you're not like saying no Windows updates for me.
No, the only
So pretty-
program that I decided to stop updating was the emulator, so that Metal Gear Solid 4 continued to be stable.
The train didn't do it. That's what the train apologists want you to think.
It is, you're
it-
right.
Is the train behind you right now? Hold on, let me look. Yeah, I need to play it cool. He's watching. Yeah, the train does that. So just throw that knife out there.
It was a box cutter.
Oh, of course, it's different. Not
Yeah,
a
it's
knife.
it's the Hardigan rule of searching a perp. Take away their weapon.
All right, there we go. The train is possessed by the spirits of a spirit.
The kitchen's kind of dirty.
It's not as bad as PJ McFilthy's, which is
It's not.
no. PJ McFilthy's is a family restaurant, but it's as gross as a whole family can be. Nothing is as filthy as a whole house of filthy people. So when you need to be surrounded by the grossest and family, come down to PJ McFilthy's, where family grossness is certainly the difference you need. You just need that crunchy floor experience.
You
Floor is
do.
so sticky, it pulls you out of your shoes. And then some poor schmuck out for his nightly walk just took a ball peen to the dome. Yes.
Yeah, and?
It was a quiet night in the city. Not for long.
93.50.
I once went to an
93.
IHOP and I saw someone like quietly puke at their booth, trying not to alarm anyone. They just puked under the table as quietly as they could. I've seen some gross stuff in restaurants, man. But I think most of us have. Like, people act crazy. I've been to, have you ever been to like a Chinese restaurant where people turn the rice over on the table for their kids to eat?
No.
I saw that. I saw somebody get a big bowl of fried rice at a Chinese restaurant and their kids are like, ah! And the parents just turned the rice over on the table for the kids to eat. Seriously. And like, I was just like, this can't be a thing. So I just said it out loud. And I'm watching people's horrible. Yeah, okay. So I'm not crazy in thinking those people were insane. Got it.
No. Good lord.
Right off the table, not on the floor. Like over on the table, like direct on the table, because they saw the person clean the glass off, and they were like, "Oh, it's clean," you know.
Yeah, that's an assumption in and of itself. Count up from 5.
You presume that that's cleaning supplies.
Couldn't drink that coffee. All right, so we're gonna solve a murder. We are going to solve a murder.
Are we?
We are. Count up from 5.
When I see a bunch of pants that have been thrown on the floor on the way to the bedroom, I presume that somebody has IBS. That's just my presumption. Like I'm just like that can't be healthy. That they must have had some oops. They must have some real bad gut issues. Oh man.
All right, I've done my damage.
You've done your part. A flower bunch.
I was going to put it on the stove, but
That seems a little mean.
candy wrapper in the drawer? Yeah, no wonder this kitchen looks like this. Alright. Time to go.
All right, Apex262 says, when I was a kid, I remember at a Wendy's an old man came up with a big red cup from a 7-Eleven and filled it up with ice from the salad bar and then proceeded to top it off with a ketchup from the big pump dispenser.
Oh, good lord. Ah! Alright. It's to use it so they can't take it away. I now have 2 diamonds to pock.
What is this game? It's called Shadows of Doubt.
Yes,
And,
you play a detective. Nominally a good one, a competent one. I'm not playing this competently.
You can be as competent as you want to be.
If the creator of this game saw the way that I play it, they would be horrified that I was brute forcing these systems instead of stealthing them. God fucking damn it!
Horrified by most of the things we do. Well, okay. What does it say on the door? What is it? Or, well, you know.
It just says open.
Well, that's a lie. What time does it say on your watch? Wait till 10. I've found that most of them will open at 10 or 11. Most of them. But that was in my playthrough, which may be glitched, but I found out it was like, they do have hours-ish, but I had to go read a bunch of their work rotas on accident to find out, you know.
Well,
who and what and where.
Thought I had asked what their hours were.
Possibly, but unless the game commits that to memory and you hover over the door and it says, these are the hours, it'd be nice to have those actually posted in the window.
Yeah, I would like to have them posted in the window.
So that confused one says, this is just me, but I highly recommend to not start street side fights versus dozens of other citizens.
Yeah, street side.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
They said they broke the game and haven't had a murder for days.
Yeah, so I crashed the game by having a pile of cops at my feet, and the bottom one tried to wake up and shoot me with a shotgun.
That's horrific.
And it was a street fight. I'd accidentally thrown something at someone, and they took offense. It is now noon. It has been 6 fucking hours. You know what I'm gonna do?
All right, look, all we gotta do is just run around and touch buttons. We'll be fine.
I'm just gonna wait in the office.
Yeah.
I'm gonna turn their security off. And not flare. And I'm just gonna sit and wait in their office for them to show up.
I would. Just wait. Hang out and enjoy, just enjoy your move the chair. Move the chair away and then sit in it. That way you might be able to pass time by moving the chair.
Wait. Thought I just heard a key.
Did you?
What time is it? Yeah. Once you pick the chair up, you can't move them, right? Or you can't sit in them? I may not be able to sit in this anyway. Put down, please. Right? Can I sit in you, please? Ugh.
I mean, I guess we just hang around. I mean, you work here now, I guess. I guess this is where you take over and this becomes a shopkeep role play.
Honestly, I would if it would let me, because that's something.
Well, yeah, that's true. Too bad you can't try people's murders to, like, you know, random things. You'd be like, ah, yes, I'm sure the shopkeep did it.
Maybe if your public trust got high enough, they would let you.
It seems like a really bad store. What do we got? Trophies and Marmite, a few books.
Yeah.
We got a baseball.
Commemorative, though. Don't throw it.
Don't throw it.
It's made of
moves
wood.
half its value. It's made of wood.
Come on down to the wooden baseball.
Man, that would be a tough baseball game. And that's if you really made contact, you'd watch somebody's wrist break, or you'd see splinters go flying back at the guy who pitched it. Oh man, I always worry. I always worry.
Oh, hold
that,
on.
Oh.
All right. We were right here when this murder was reported.
Yeah.
It's very possible the suspect will be coming down the stairs.
Oh. You think he can do it?
Son of a bitch. Fucking security shutters.
You think they're on the other side of it?
You do it?
Are you sure that this is the way to do it?
She had a
They have a
fucking
knife.
combat knife on her.
Oh God. All right.
Just in case, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, holy shit. All right, what about fingerprints?
I'm taking that knife from her.
I would. I think they'd probably wake up and try to kill you. With a hammer.
With a combat knife.
Well, not anymore. That could also be the killer. That could also be the killer. Who knows? All these people could be the killer. The whole city could be the killer.
She had a gun.
Oh, man. You know what they say, a thrown sword is worth two in the hand. There's that combat knife that might have been used from the murder.
And I now used it to kill a cop.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
And allegedly. As your lawyer, I refuse to let you, admit to this crime, which may or may not have happened.
Alright, it's okay. We're doing fine. Everything's fine.
All right. Yeah, let's just, oh, God. Yeah, let's just take everything just in case, you know? The room is spinning, they say. Yeah, probably. What happened? Who knows? Yeah, see? Simple.
Where was the crime at?
I don't remember.
202, right here.
Oh, yeah. SOS.
Where am I,
That's
yells the officer.
Good day, officer. Here to investigate the crime?
Oh, okay. Both of these are disarmed cops.
Uh-oh. The disarm the police. Uh-oh.
Oh, God.
Oh, no. What happened?
She pulled the alarm.
Oh, dear.
The bitch pulled the alarm. She got
Now
up
you're
and she
gonna
was
die.
like, it's going to be everybody's problem.
She just decided that, you know, if she gets beat down by a crazy person, she will beat down the whole place at once. This is it's one of those moments where it's like, it's not so much that I win, it's that you all lose.
Yeah, exactly. Good fucking God.
What a great Noir ending, though. Oh, man. It's one of those things of like, well, if I'm gonna get my lumps, the whole room's getting lead. All right. So what are we gonna do with the computer? What are we gonna do?
Yeah, well, we're gonna let it boot up.
Seems to take its time.
Okay, never mind. I was going to create another distraction.
I think you've caused enough distractions. I think you've caused sufficient crime.
Sufficient chaos.
This is just getting out of the hospital. I understand that a detective sometimes causes the cops to be, crazy or whatever.
I'm not being pursued. I did get shot again.
It seems to be something you like doing. You're collecting bullets the hard way.
They're going to look at my x-ray and be like, good fucking God, man.
Yeah, they're going to be like, man, is that some internal body bling?
So, in performing your x-ray, we found 7 old bullet wounds, a broken tip of a bayonet, half of a box cutter.
They're like, what do you do for a living? And you're like, I'm into acquisitions and sales.
Yes. Yeah. I'm woozy from the sedative they use. Let me do some fried chicken about it.
It's one of those things of when someone puts you under for surgery because of the 1,800 bullets when someone puts you on the Thorazine drip because you're psychotic, it's where you need to have some chicken.
All right.
And I agree, Switch. Fried chicken solves most problems. Nobody hates fried chicken. Even vegetarians will be like, well, I'll have the fake fried chicken or the fried cauliflower, whatever, for instead of the chicken wings. But everyone loves the principle of it.
Yeah.
It's something that has few people who hate it. Fried chicken is a universal thing. Waffles as well. It's only natural they marry. But I bet there was a lot of fuck-ups on the way to fried chicken and waffles. I'm sure somebody was like, just... Oh, wait, they did that joke in Black Dynamite. Shit, go watch that. They did it better. But I'm sure somebody fucked up a lot on the way to, figuring out fried chicken and waffles. I'm pretty sure, though, a lot of things happened when somebody first figured out what breading and frying was. There must have been a eureka moment, when they cracked the atom, where they were like,
Coming
this
back
changes...
to those.
All right. But they were like, this changes everything.
Yeah.
They were like, wait a second. If I take food and coat it in other food and then put it in oil, I get something better. And then they had that moment where they realized what's friable. And I had that with a friend of mine. A friend of mine bought one of those small fryers.
Mm-hmm.
And he said for the first 6 weeks after that was discovering what were fryables.
Yeah.
Every time they went to the store, he and his roommate went to the store, it was what fits in the fryer. They were just like, well, yeah, I could bread that. I could see that being good. And so they called it fryables. So they made a checklist of like, yeah, that fries, or nuh-uh, nope, that doesn't do it.
Yeah, no good in the deep fryer.
No good. They figured out a lot of things like the prep work that goes into frying simple shit, even like Twinkies. You can't just drop them in there. And how many are dead? I don't know. That sounds like a job for a detective to determine.
I'll
I
think
let you
I'm
know
on
when we find one.
5, 6 bodies.
But I think that fryables are just something you have to discover.
Man, I really wish I didn't have this ketamine headache.
You know, it's, oh wow, that's a murder. Man, when someone is in one of them circles and dead, you know who did it is probably not a good person. They probably consider themselves an artist, but not in a neat way.
Alright, footprint heel size 9.
Yeah, that could be a problem.
That could be the cops.
Hobo cop pulling himself out of the K-hole daily. Yeah.
Alright.
Well, Appointment Frosty asks if fried chicken and waffles are the end all of chill pill, explain the fights at Waffle House. Well, see, before you get the fried chicken and waffles, the wait for it with other people, if anything happens prior to that point, the effect is annulled. So it's a very precarious time. It's kind of like, it's like the wave pool, man. Sometimes people go under. It's rough out there. Man, I think it's fun we're starting to find fingerprints that are in very much no way related to what we're doing. Have you checked the door? I bet maybe the killer of the door, possibly. See, the people at the Waffle House are seeking the fried chicken and waffles, but if you don't get them in time, catastrophic.
So type G is going to be our murderer.
You think?
Mm-hmm.
Well, these murders are all related, right?
Yeah. So that's the first time I've gotten the murderer's prints in.
You sure it isn't the other person who lives here?
Yes, that is the other possibility.
Because I've had that happen where I find the other person's prints and I'm like, aha, it's the murderer. And they're like, nope.
High heel size 15. That's a large heel.
Yeah. That's a big shoe.
Can I take it?
You can have some heels if you want. For later. You could just, use them to drink out of, like one of them fancy people. Fancy people drinking out of them slippers with champagne.
Yeah.
Be like, yeah. Because this is a Noir thing.
If you want to do it on the road, you gotta like empty out one of the Avon bottles.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing is like when you have the shoe doesn't fit the crime scene, you're allowed to do whatever you want with it. So you can take that home. You're allowed to. Shoes you find at the crime scene are just just take them home.
No shoes on this side of the bed. Papers. That's Ife Stewart.
Because we've already taken diamonds out of the house. We need to start looking for more fun mementos. I think shoes are worth a lot of money. Maybe not diamond money, but a lot of shoes are very expensive.
Alright, so she's the only resident here. Type G is going to be our murderer or one of the cops. But I don't think the cops went through the drawers. Commemorative baseball? Okay.
Well, I mean, makes as much sense as anything else in this house. Ah, yes, getting paid to read them book spines.
Yeah.
It's kind of like shelf reading in a library.
Electric Love.
I think it would be really cool. Hawkins says it'd be cool if people could lose their shoes when running from a crime scene. I think that would also be a cool touch.
It would.
That are cutting their hand, like trying to get out through a window or something. So
yes, you've got a blood type.
Yeah, like some little bits of evidence like that would be really interesting.
So the fact that they pay attention to things like blood type makes me think they will do that at some point. It's just not yet implemented.
It would be really weird, as the MJJ suggests, or MIJ suggests, stock the pawn shop with murked people's shoes. Just people come in and they're like, why are all these shoes like here? And they're like, yeah, this guy keeps bringing in shoes. And they're like, another footless body found in the bay. You're like, unrelated. Serendipity.
What size shoe do you wear? 15 to 17. So Patrice is not who left those footprints.
You sure?
Yeah, because they're a size 9.
So somebody has big old feet. Well, what about the victim? What
Our
are the victim's shoe size?
Our victim, that's the victim's shoes, the 15 heels that I
Okay.
found.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, it's the victim's shoes, so not
Yeah.
murder shoes.
No, the murder shoes are a size 9. All right, I think that's all I got here.
Well, we did the best we could.
Yeah.
A terrible case of accident. They just fell down and drew all those things out and then died.
Interesting.
Killers with tiny feet? I don't know. When I think of murder, I don't think of tiny person.
Size 16, so these are all cop prints.
That's a big fucking shoe.
Yeah, that cop is supposed to be wearing a high heel size 15 to 17. 11. 5? That's a tiny shoe.
Size 5, good lord.
Yeah, it's like a child shoe. Size 16, so that's all cops too. Okay.
Honkin' Veteran says, I've seen size 23 prints in game.
Oh, good lord. 23 is
Man,
pretty impressive.
If someone's walking down the street and they have a size 23 feet, it would sound like a frog running if it could run upright. Plap, plap, plap. That would be creepy.
Alright, so I'm nearly certain that type G here is our Amor? Is that a name? That sounds like the kind of name this game would generate. Let me go.
My name is Amora.
Where's the cop shop? Look for the hand. There's a hand. That's why I never go get paperwork, is it gives me a second marker, essentially. Be able to find the police station. But no, firearms implementation I'm looking forward to. Some more variety in cases I'm looking forward to. Excuse me one second.
Be interesting.
Oh, you've only got an employee database?
Unfortunate.
God damn it, Callie, you're not important enough?
I guess they don't have the access you're looking for.
Excuse me. Don't mind me.
Oh, yes. Love that you can just sit in somebody's lap and start using the computer.
And he didn't
and
care.
They don't care.
Well, let me go up to the one I know has the databases. Maybe one more. Nope. Okay. One more? Really this high up? No. Nobody in there?
There never is anybody in there until they're all in there.
Well, okay, yes. Alright, so we need to find a note.
A note. A note that what? Says it's okay for you to do this? Because I don't think any note like that exists. I don't think there's such a note.
Newspaper, waste paper basket. Ooh.
Ooh, that's a good one.
That is a good one.
If you can get out of here alive, that is.
This will do. Hey, Mr. Elliot. 9968. Thank you for the password. Gov database. Amor. A-M-O. There's F's.
Famor. Once in warrants check, call back. Famor.
Alright. Omar Farina. No.
No. Borzan? I don't know. It's Tarzan. Case closed.
Tarzan.
Could be.
There was no crumpled paper at any of the other scenes, and I did look. Not very hard, mind you, but I did look.
I think you need to fit Amor into the spaces below. Huh. All right.
Oh,
Like
is that how
Hannah.
that works?
All right. Reasonable enough. I mean, they're starting to leave murder notes.
Bamzorn. Borzam.
All right. Let's try it. It's got to be A-N or O-N, right?
Yeah.
A-N or O-N. You just open... What did you just type out? Rafa? Yeah, I don't think that's a name. Let's try again.
And it's got to have a B in it.
Yeah. Simple enough. Keep going. Bessan.
It's not enough letters, though.
No, not yet, but... Yeah, we could start searching as well. B-A-B-M-B-O-B-R. Bambi. No.
So I have tried to print out the information of every single citizen in the city. I gave up after about a third of them.
Good Lord.
Because that was the extra large city, and it was not happening.
There's a Z in there. Let's
So
just
it's got to
do
be B-A or B-O. Right?
Yeah. B-A or B-O. All right. No. No. All right, so B-M. No. Oh, wait, that's working. Bourbon. Nah. Let's see.
None of these have a Z.
None of these have a C.
Z as in zebra.
Yeah. Counterpoint, it could be a company.
Could it? Okay.
That's possible.
Francisca Escobar. Cambanda. So, I do know. So she worked at Adore Limited. He worked at Cost Effective Group. I did never go to any of their houses.
Well, we might find more clues at their houses. You think? What if we find more clues, you know? There could be more clues.
There could be more clues at their houses.
There could be a lot of clues. It could be all very related. And food. There could be food.
Asia Chang, what a name. Yeah, that's the random generator was not kind on that.
I had a random generator where it gave a guy 2 first names. And I was like, that's too real.
You meet somebody with 2 first names, you know they're up to no good. 3 first names, you know they're a southerner.
Yeah, it'll be like Bobby and Gerald. And you're like, what? They're like, I'm Wayne Jr. You're like, you're not the first one.
Majors.
Oh, it's too good.
Hey, nobody shot at me when I left this time.
This is the first time that happened.
This is the first time I think I've left the building not under duress.
Voting Warrior says, I once got Jesus Pringle.
Or Jesus Pringle.
Yeah, Jesus Pringle. That must have been awkward in church. Now we can hold more things. I think we need to keep looking for things, you know.
Yeah, we need to keep looking for things. I will solve this crime. For chat, just to prove I can. Okay.
All right,
so,
let's go solve a crime.
We need to figure
solve
out...
a crime with more crime. I didn't say we wouldn't make more crime.
Let's go to Estrella Heights. Where is Estrella Heights? Please? There we go. Alright, so we're going to go look at the employee database of Gray Ink and see if any of those people show up as, are identified from employee photos or records. So that's the way I'm going to handle this the first time. I need Gray Ink. Is this Gray Ink? No, this is Mockingbird. And we'll just do this where all of them worked until something gets filled in. That's a pharmacy.
Remember, you can't spell law enforcement without force.
It's true.
Remember, there is an I in crime, so get cracking.
We're all counting on you. Good luck.
There's an I and a me in crime, so you know who to blame.
I think these are all residential.
You mean these are all shopping areas?
Yes. So where then?
When you first played this game, you told me that your first thing to do as a detective was to stack boxes that you had just taken from other people.
Yeah. I stole all my neighbor's mail and kept hold of it.
Yeah, just seems like
what retired detectives do. They spy on their neighbors.
Well, why not? Just be a weirdo, right? In for a penny, in for a pound. And welcome aboard, Lima 32 Echo. We are Legion. So let's see what we can do. You've got your fried chicken, which this city thankfully has an endless supply of. I think it keeps the crime rate down.
I think so as well. It's somewhere in this building. which is, you know, in front of two of the fucking murder scenes. I'm not a very good detective. That's the Mockingbird Food Hut. That's the pawn shop. That's the
Azure
pharmacy.
Flamingo Goods. Welcome to the Azure Flamingo.
It's an apartment. It's an apartment.
Look, it's not Tex. Hello, not Tex. We're hanging out.
The third floor landing with a bunch of apartments.
Not Tex was called Not Tex because people said he sounded like me, and he doesn't. He has a gravelly voice, but he has his own way of speaking and, you know, has his own way of doing things. And so for a while when we interacted, it was just like Tex, not Tex, Shepherd, Rex, you know, it's
Yeah.
it's kind of that thing. It's kind of funny because both of us are just very softy nerds who love animals and are very sweetheart people. So everyone hears voices like this and presume it's like, oh man, this guy just must like drink whiskey and smoke cigars, ride motorcycles. And it's like, I actually like poetry. I was told that poetry was terrible by someone, and I decided that I didn't care what they thought.
Yeah, that's a take. It's not
It's
a
a
good
bad
one.
one.
Yeah.
It's a very bad one. Words are clumsy. Words are very, very clumsy. It's hard to write anything clever. And if someone can express an emotion so well in a collection of words that years later you read it and it moves you to tears, I would say that that person's pretty fucking clever to reach through time, and I can take the time to read their fucking shit. I think that's
10th floor.
reasonable. You know?
It is, yeah.
What kind of poetry? Oh, varies. God.
10th floor.
Of course,
10th floor.
you know, your basics. Dylan Thomas to Charles Bukowski.
Oh, thank Christ they're in.
Oh, they're finally open.
I'm not
As
paid
far as
enough for this, they say.
Alan Seeger, despite his very brief life and very unfortunate end, had some very powerful shit. As well, I find a lot of the cowboy poetry that people just wrote in the saddle to be beautiful and timeless. Are poems the OG TikTok posts? Probably.
Yeah, that's not a bad take, I suppose. There.
Like, if you ever want to hear like fatalism, but not exactly bitterness, Alan Seeger's "I Have a Rendezvous with Death" is very powerful, and he wrote that in the trenches and then died in the trenches. So pretty powerful stuff, and it's amazing it survived. And there's a lot of smaller poets like that that aren't really well known. Robert Frost, "The Road Not Taken." That's one that you think is stupid when you have to read it in school, and then years later you stumble upon it, some BuzzFeed article or whatever, just droll nonsense that's plastered on the internet, and then you find crap that is actually a really good question about the fear. You know, some of that shit's timeless. Not all of it's so smart. Some of it's simple or, you know, kind of restricted to then and there.
Scot free. Alright, I have pockets full of diamonds.
I as well like some Shelly, but I think everyone does. How much time do we have, by the way? I haven't even looked because this is pretty chill.
It is now 7, so it is time, I believe.
I suppose we should end with a poem then. I will read Ozymandias. I met a traveler from an antique land who said, "Two vast and trunkless legs of stone stand in the desert. Near them, on the sand, half sunk, a shattered visage lies, whose frown and wrinkled lip, with sneer of cold command, tell that it's sculptor whose passions red, which yet survive, stamped on these lifeless things, the hand that mocked them and the heart that fed, and on the pedestal these words appear. My name is Ozymandias, King of Kings. Look upon my works, ye mighty, and despair. Nothing beside remains. Round the decay of that colossal wreck, boundless and bare, the lone and level sands stretch far away.
Very well done.
Thank you. One of those things where you look upon the greatest works of things and realize all is ash in the end.
Always was. Game's rigged from the
Always will
start.
be. Game was rigged from the start. Yeah, but no, I like poetry.
So it turns out that I'm not going to solve this today.
What? There might be more episodes of crime, comma, possibly solved. All right.
Yeah, we should probably do that. So that is what we're looking at is we're going to, next time we get a chance, start running down employees of Gray Ink.
You know what my favorite poem is, really, though? Just something I say to myself. The Woodpecker by Shel Silverstein.
Not familiar.
It's a short one. I have it memorized. It's, the saddest thing I ever did see was a woodpecker pecking on a plastic tree. He turned his head and said to me, things ain't as sweet as they used to be. Just make sure you're not on a plastic tree, boys and girls.
Yeah, it's easy to do. All right. And on that, we're going to save it.
All right, later, boys and girls.